Welcome to South Korea and to the beautiful island of Jeju. Situated just off Korea's southern coastline, it's this picturesque location that would host the penultimate event on the International Judo Federation's 2014 World Tour. Korea has a rich judo heritage, and the Grand Prix gave Korean judo fans a chance to watch their latest crop of budding heroes in action, alongside those who have already achieved iconic status. There was also a strong French team in attendance, as world judo fans got to see the nation's best female athletes returning to action after the World Championships in the summer. And there was exciting news, as judo's biggest superstar Riner would be in action at over 100 kilograms, looking to get an early start to his 2015 season here at the end of 2014. But we start at under 52 kilograms, where all eyes were on the Romanian fighter Jeju. The world number 2 lost out to the highest ranked female fighter in the world, Kelmende, at the World Championships in Chelyabinsk this summer, but since then has gone on to show without doubt that she is the Kosophan's main rival in the category. At the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam just 1 month ago, Jeju once again fell foul of Kelmende's phenomenal throwing power, losing out in the final to show that for the moment, the world number 1 was still very much in the driving seat. But Jeju has been going from strength to strength, and in Jeju, she would face off against Japanese youngster Shishimi in the final. Would Jeju continue her run of form? Well, Jeju just about to get a penalty. There it is. Penalty given. She'll have to pick up the pace now. Shishimi, left-handed. Oh, look at that! Koshi Garuma, and it's all over. Well, that really did shake up Jeju, didn't it? That penalty did it, and she just went into action. Well, I thought it was Koshi Garuma, but it wasn't. It was Ogoshi. Arm went underneath the opponent's arm there. And the hips went across, and she got the drive from the leg, didn't she? And took Shishimi right the way over, flat on her back. What an ippon for the lady in form. Jeju really establishing herself as Kelmende's main rival. In the lightest male weight of under 60 kilograms, there was a first gold for an impressive Korean team, with world number 9 Kim capitalising fully on the home advantage in Jeju. After earning a Yuko lead against Japan's Koeno in the final, Kim lengthened the gap by adding a wazari towards the end of the bout with this low driving shoulder throw. For Kim, it was her first World Tour gold since last year's Jeju Grand Prix. If he can carry this kind of form to foreign soil, then the Korean could be a real contender. Up one weight at under 66 kilograms, it was Japan who topped the podium, with youngster Tateyama standing proud in the gold medal position. His path to the final included this fantastic shoulder throw against Lefebvre of Belgium for ippon. In the final he was more tactical, emerging victorious after a scrappy final with Korea's An, in which a single penalty to the Korean was enough to separate the two fighters. It was Tateyama's first World Tour gold in the category, adding his name to an extensive list of high-level Japanese competitors in the weight. At under 73 kilograms, Korea boasted an emerging star in the form of the reigning junior world champion An. After he took out the experienced Van Tichelt of Belgium in the eliminations with this spectacular ippon, he left no doubts as to his potential amongst the seniors. His opponent in the final would be the ever-improving Muki of Israel. The world number 5 is himself one of the category's biggest throwers. But would he be able to deny An first World Tour gold on home soil? Well, the junior world champion really taking the fight to Muki. Muki's penalty down. Look at that now then! Oh! Suri Kamigoshi there, and he took him over. It came off the left shoulder, but he gets a wazari for it. Look at that. Off the same side, it was Sianagi, in fact.
And Mookie went right the way onto his side. He rolled onto his side, so it was only a Wazari. Now Mookie's got it all to do. Mookie comes forward, but he is a thrower. Arm goes over the back. Is it going to be Subagay? Kosoto! Oh, and Wazari back for Mookie. Always a thrower is dangerous, and Mookie, well, really pulled it out the bag there with that Kosoto. He's still down now. Oh, Taitoshi and Am, the junior world champion, gets his first major senior title. And how pleased does he look? Very low Taitoshi, and well, it was an overthrow, wasn't it? Wazari and Wazetti upon, and Mookie couldn't do anything about it, and gets his first major senior title. And it will be interesting just to see how he develops over the next 18 months coming to the Olympic Games.
In the lightest female weight of under 48 kilograms, the young Bouchard sported the first gold for a French team packed full of superstars in Jeju. The world bronze medalist took on Ukraine's Cherniak in the final and took a Wazari lead courtesy of this speedy Sodasura Kamigoshi. Later in the bout, Bouchard struck again with the same technique, showing what a great exponent of the throw she is as it earned the gold. Bouchard, one of France's rising stars. But the French star in action at under 57 kilograms needed no introduction. World number one Pavia is a familiar face on World Tour podiums, and in Jeju she was making a comeback after a break following her bronze medal winning performance in Chelyabinsk. In her elimination, she well and truly shook out the cobwebs as she easily made the final, in which she would face off against domestic rival Kosovo. A Yuko in the opening minute earned her the lead. Then she went one better by scoring a Wazari against the advancing Kosovo. It would be enough to earn Pavia a 6th World Tour gold. At under 63 kilograms, France had yet another world number one making a comeback. Agbek Nanu is probably the biggest thrower in women's judo, a title which she hotly contests with her main rival Gerbi of Israel, the world number two. In Chelyabinsk, their final was one of the most memorable matchups in recent years. And there it was Agbek Nanu who emerged victorious thanks to this stunning ippon. She was on top of the world. But now it's back down to earth as the 22-year-old returns to work here in Jeju, looking to be ready to defend her title next year in Astana. And it looked as though she'd never been away. A typical blast of power seeing her through her opening contest with ease. It was a sign of things to come as Agbek Nanu threw her way into the final in style, showing once again what an exciting fighter she is. Standing between her and the gold would be Push of Spain. Would Agbek Nanu have more fireworks in store?
Well, Agbek Nanu has scored the French girl. Oh, well, is that a score? On the edge, I think the referee might have called Mate. It was almost a score, wasn't it? Oh, so did Gary. But she landed on her elbow, actually. So now Agbek Nanu, left-handed, wants the arm over. That's going to be a score, surely. Wazari scored. Harai Makikomi. Well, it's been changed to a Yuko. It was a rolling Harai Makikomi. Agbek Nanu really in charge in this final. Kosoto this time! Oh, she finishes it off this time. Threatened it, didn't she, with the first attack that she did. This time, though, she controls it from the upper part of the body. And this French team are really on the march. Elso Tagari controls the head, drives off the back leg, as always, and Agbek Nanu is back. What a terrific French team we have here in Jeju. Agbek Nanu, world number one, world champion. Can she go on to become Olympic champion?
Très contente. Je suis quand même fière de moi parce que pour une reprise après les championnats du monde, c'est difficile et j'ai réussi à gagner aujourd'hui, donc je suis contente.
But France's female superstars weren't done there. At under 70 kilograms, they had a decorated veteran in action in the form of double world champion Iman. Making her first appearance at under 70 kilograms for over 5 years, Iman hit the ground running in Jeju. A spectacular ippon against Conway of Great Britain, followed by another against Russia's Gazieva, showed the extra weight difference from under 63 kilograms would not be a problem for Iman. In the final, she took on Germany's world number 2, Vargas Koch. Sadly, there would be no theatrics. Iman out-attacked her opponent, but could not get the line to actually throw her. She would have to settle for penalties. But a gold in her first event back at under 70 kilograms meant either way, Iman was all smiles. Once again, the Marseillaise played out in Jeju. A fantastic comeback for Iman. And finally, at under 78 kilograms, Chimeo rounded off an impressive display of dominance from France. Her category saw the entry of her old rival Harrison, the Olympic champion, for whom this ippon set up a semi-final showdown between the two in Jeju. This time it would be Chimeo enjoying the victory after she capitalised on a poor attack from the American to score a yuko and advance to the final. A great confidence boost for the former world champion. Harrison would have to settle for bronze, which she took thanks to a wazari from Ouchigari against Russia's Muscoliak. A consolation prize for Harrison, but the American always comes for gold. Chimeo faced off against Malsan of Germany in a final which would be decided by a penalty, incurred by the German for stepping out of the contest area. Gold for Chimeo. What a fantastic performance from France's female superstars. But it was in the male category of over 100 kilograms that France had their biggest name in action. Riner is the most successful male judoka ever, and in Chelyabinsk he equalled the record of Japan's Ryoko Tani of 7 World Championship golds. His performance there was emphatic. Some huge ippon judo saw him make the final in style. There, after earning a commanding lead against Shinshinui of Japan, he suffered a late scare when he was almost caught napping. But despite that, there is no doubt in anyone's mind just how far beyond his closest rivals Riner truly is. France's national hero was here in Jeju looking to start his 2015 season. Usually he does this in Paris. Next year the event will take place in the autumn. So it was here that the great Riner had decided to make a surprise outing. Next year he will have the chance to become the most successful judo player ever if he wins an unprecedented 8th world title in Astana. Whilst the following year he'll be looking to become a double Olympic champion. Well above his optimum weight, some wondered if Riner would be his usual self in Jeju. But the Frenchman showed once again that he is in a league of his own. His elimination opponents had no chance, as one by one they fell to Riner. After throwing for ippon in his opening contest, he then used groundwork to ease through his next against Russia's Kazeya. A light-hearted and relaxed Riner would then see off Romania's Simionescu with 2 wazaris in their semi-final matchup to book a place in the final. He hadn't even broken sweat. His opponent would be Korea's Kim, one of only a few ever touted as being a potential rival, and though his performance in the elimination suggested he might fit the bill, Kim has still never beaten Riner and has been on the wrong end of some of the Frenchmen's biggest epochs. Riner had won the contest before even stepping onto the tatami. Kim's confidence deserted him. Riner's sheer presence is now a weapon in itself, one which saps all self-belief from his opponents. It meant, unfortunately, that the final would be a mismatch, in which Kim's main focus was stopping Riner from throwing him, rather than trying to attack himself. Judo's contest rules are tough on the defensive, so after 3.5 minutes, a fourth penalty to Kim meant he was disqualified from the bout. Nevertheless, Riner's comeback had gone as planned.
It's a good feeling. This is the start of my season, and I'm trying to get back to my best. I'm not yet at my optimum weight, and I'm not in my best form. Also, I haven't fought Kim for a long time. We could easily meet each other again in a final, but well, the match is over. Now I know what I need to do for the next time. After reflecting with my staff and my coach, we spoke about it and decided to do this Grand Prix, because this year there's no Paris Grand Slam in February. So it's good to do a competition like this, in which there are sometimes more opponents than in other Grand Slams. So there you go. It's important to maintain ranking points. The most important thing for me and my staff is to get as much information as possible before the Olympic Games.
In the heaviest female weight of over 78 kilograms, Korea's women were able to manage a solitary gold as Kim beat her compatriot Lee in the final. At under 100 kilograms, Korea continued their dominance of the male weights in Jeju as Cho added another gold medal. The former over 100 kilo fighter has dropped his weight to make this category and is now able to boast his stylish judo without being overpowered. Some wonderful flowing attacks saw him through to the final in Jeju. This epoch against Belgium's Nikiforov, the pick of the bunch. In the final he overcame none other than the former Olympic champion and Asian Games champion Naidon of Mongolia, after 4 penalties saw the Mongolian disqualified. Always a great technician, Cho is now finding his feet in his new category. At under 90 kilograms, Korea had another competitor fighting it out for gold in the form of last year's gold medalist, Gwak. He would take on Madeyev of Azerbaijan in the final. Would Gwak add another gold to Korea's medal haul?
Well, Madeyev has got to come forward. He's got to attack because Gwak is in control here. He can't afford another penalty, Madeyev. Gwak left-handed. Oh, Wazari scored. He rolled onto his shoulders, so only a Wazari. But Gwak opens the account. Beautiful Osoto. Look at that, head went down, didn't it? Where the head goes, the rest of the body will follow. So now Madeyev has got it all to do. Needs to get his head up. See it out now. It's all over. Beautiful Ippon, and the crowd absolutely loving it. Home support makes such a difference, and this whole Korean squad performing absolutely superbly. And now Gwak, well, he can go from strength to strength here because he really is a brilliant judo man. That was a beautiful Ippon to finish off and win this under 90 kilogram title. It's yet another medal for this Korean team.
When there is a big international tournament like this one held in Korea, my parents and family will always come to watch me. So I'm happy that they were here to see me win.
In our final category of under 81 kilograms, Korea had their biggest judo hero in action in the form of Olympic champion Kim Jae-bum. Kim is now on a drive to retain his Olympic title in Rio and took Jeju as a chance to get a ranking boost on home turf. And he looked to be back on form. He has suffered with injury since becoming Olympic champion in London, and his outings on the World Tour have shown a more vulnerable Kim, a shadow of the man who was invincible 2 years ago. And Osei-Komi Ippon against Mongolia's Nyam Suren saw him into the semi-finals. There he would be up against Wang. The former world champion at under 73 kilograms has suffered a huge fall from grace over the last few years and is in the process of reinventing himself as an under 81 kilogram fighter. No matter what his recent results, there is no doubting Wang's judo pedigree, and the former prodigal son of Korean judo showed off some great techniques to set up a showdown with Kim. A tense battle between the two ensued, neither wanting to concede the advantage. In the final minute, it was Kim who was ahead by a single penalty. Then, Wang struck. Almost a score. But Kim's reflexes saved him. He would hang on to book his place in the final. Wang would fight for bronze and take the medal with this Taetoshi for Wazari. Followed by a pin which scored Ippon. At least Wang would not leave Jeju empty-handed. Kim would face off against Botiu of Belgium. Tough ass for the Belgian, who was making his debut in a World Tour final. Kim looked focused. Would he make a gold medal comeback here in Jeju? Well, this is a great opportunity for Kim to get back to his Olympic form. Certainly on home soil anyway, and Botiu, well, he's having the tournament of his life. First major tournament final. He has got his work cut out here. Sinagi and Ippon, and it's all over. Kim Jae-bum, what a performance from him, and that really was a great comeback, and he's so happy about that. The crowd absolutely loving it, the president of Korean Judo loving it, and what a Sinagi that was, what elevation. Look how he pushes off the legs, right the way between the legs, and Botiu couldn't do anything about it. It was superbly controlled. He gets the rotation, he creates the space, and then he drives. And he scores an Ippon that will give him so much confidence now. But the question is, will he be able to retain his Olympic title in 2 years' time? Well, only time will tell. And there's Wang there receiving his bronze medal. But Kim Jae-bum deservedly receives his gold medal. What a performance from him. And what a great throw at the end. So that's it from this Grand Prix here in Jeju. Korea's men showed what class they have in the ranks, with 5 gold medals. Shitu showed why she's Kelmendi's closest rival. Agbegnanu was the brightest star in a dominant French women's team. Whilst for Riner, his comeback was all too easy. And Kim produced a flash of his former self for an important boost in confidence. Join us next from Tokyo for the final Grand Slam in the 2014 IJF World Tour.